speaking of political incoherence, the most sort of galaxy brain thing that's gone on is Alex Jones, as we called it in our crystal ball, has come out to sort of tacitly support Kanye West. There was a hilarious
the ultimate combo.
Yeah.
I told you. And the reason why is because the dream team. The reason why is because they're both completely politically incoherent people.
Talking about Kanye running for president. Is he for real? I think he's for real making that announcement that he's considering it so he has a bigger bully pulpit to challenge not just the Democrats, but also the Republicans on issues he thinks are really important. And boy, as he knocks it out of the park, he is dead on talking about Bill Gates and Fauci and the NIH owning the majority of the stock and the patents for these dangerous vaccines.
I talked about it on last week's episode, sort of the mixture of like hope and nihilism, establishment and anti-establishment rhetoric. But then again, the liberals as well have become even more incoherent themselves. I know that, Peter, you were talking about the fact that in the first execution in the last 17 years has happened in the US.
Okay, so there hasn't been a federal execution in the United States for 17 years. This morning, the day that we did this recording at 8 a.m., they gave a lethal injection to a white supremacist. Somebody who was arrested for attempting to secure weapons for a white supremacist organization years ago, who murdered a family in the process, or was convicted for murdering the family in the process, still maintained to his death that he did not do that. But I think that stuff is borderline irrelevant.
Well,
the fact that the state killed him at all is a massive exertion of power on an individual, which anybody who claims to be for a sort of liberatory politics in any sort probably shouldn't tolerate.
Which circles back to the point I was going to make, is that the political incoherence is on both of the like kind of limited sides of the American political sort of frame, because you now have the liberal left coming out in support of state execution, which is really bizarre, because these are the same people that will say things like abolish the police.
Well, we're seeing people say abolish the police. We're seeing people say abolish prisons. We're seeing people saying all this stuff. But the second, like, you kill somebody who they consider deplorable, they're like, oh, well, the state is good. The exertion of power that we're complaining about in both other instances, it's actually good if it's a white supremacist.
Why don't they just send social workers to deal with white supremacists then? These are the same people. These are the same people who would like shit their pants if you said, oh, there's some Nazis over there, we're going to send social workers to go and shoot flowers at them or whatever the fuck. I think it's ironic that this whole thing has happened while cancel culture is now like at the center of public debate, because death penalty is like permanently canceling someone.
It's like permanent cancel.
It's permanent cancel. In this case, because it's somebody who's a white supremacist, it seems as if all of the sort of so-called principles of the liberal left have sort of gone out of the window. And again, it goes back to the whole...
It's what they want. It's the ultimate goal of cancel culture. It's why, like, when they decide that, like, you're one of, like, the bad ones, they'll say things like, oh, I hope they die of terminal cancer.
Yeah.
It's because they believe that once you have strayed into the no-no zone, you may as well, like, die, basically.
Yeah.
It's really fucked. It's a specific feature, not a bug, of this specific mode of liberalism, where what it does want is like autocratic power to enact its will, or it wants the state to act on its behalf, basically, which makes it inherently sort of reactionary and punitive and weird, because they want the state to come in and or capital, and they want not just the state. They want both the state and capital to enact their will and authority, which is reactionary. Am I wrong by saying that? Have I gotten theory wrong by saying that? Is that not the definition?
And let me go ahead and say, like, to Ashley's point, there is a tweet that somebody by the name of Big Al tweeted. He said, if you tweet about abolishing prisons, but then think the state should get to murder people, I don't know how to tell you that you fucked up in your theory somewhere. This was quote tweeted by some liberal activist and said, LOL, what did you think we were going to do after abolishing prisons? Which just totally, completely backs up the mindset at play. They want to fucking kill the bad people. They want to designate bad people and fucking kill them.
So, well, that was the goal, was to like abolish prisons and then just like put them all through like a slaughter machine.
In this person's head, we abolish prisons so we can kill the bad people. We categorize the deplorables, and then apparently we just fucking mow them down with an AK-47.
I mean,
No social workers. No social workers for
social.
fascists.
The social workers was a completely fucking front for this type of person.
It's social workers that have been trained in the arts of killing people.
Yeah, social workers with guns. Police.
The social worker that paid Jeffrey Epstein a visit.
Yeah.
The one that paid him a visit in jail. Well, that's what it's obvious what they want. And I was watching Tim Dillon with Jake this morning, and Tim Dillon is somebody who is not a leftist by any standards, and he thinks he's also politically incoherent.
Yes.
The thing is, the guy makes a lot of great points that are material, almost like very close to material analysis, and he also has just sort of codified the perfect way of like ridiculing the liberal left affect. But he ends up coming to the most ridiculous, like, galaxy brain conclusions that are both hopeful and nihilistic, both pro-authoritarian and anti-authoritarian.
The Alex Jones style
thing,
shit.
which just shows you that this is where the mind of normies is. Like, the average normie has this very politically incoherent sort of thing going on. But the Tim Dillon show, he was talking about the whole abolish the police thing. And his theory was that it was a Marxist plot to basically enforce authority over people and to sort of create a mode where we no longer have autonomy over our thoughts and our speech and all of this different stuff. And I'm like, what you're critiquing is liberalism. You've created a straw man of Marxism. Because you don't know that liberalism is the thing. He thinks that Marxism is an extreme form of liberalism. And the fact that
that's what the whole fucking stupid political spectrum bullshit does, is it makes people think that leftist is just further left of liberal. And
no, it's not. It's completely
liberal
different.
Liberal is capitalist.
Liberal is capitalist. It's completely different, which is what I wish. And it feels like the reason why, because Tim Dillon is someone I would fucking love to talk to. I would love to talk to any of these motherfuckers, because I feel like they need to understand that liberal is not left, and left is not just an extreme version of liberal. Left is something
I'd like to tell
different.
that to a lot of people calling themselves leftists.
Yeah, same here, exactly. Most of the people who call themselves leftist are just rad libs, radical liberals, extreme liberals, and extreme liberalism is reactionary. It's fucking fascism. It's fucking reactionary.
Okay, so neoliberalism requires the participation of the state.
And one of the things he said towards the end of his sort of rant was that whatever the fuck comes
the
after...
rant's fucking funny. You guys sent me it. It's fucking hilarious, and it's accurate, except for the conclusion that he comes to.
Yeah, but
Which is how it always is.
But he...
That's why I want to talk to him.
Yeah.
I tweeted at him today, and I was like, Tim, stop canceling the left. I was like, you don't actually know what it is, so stop canceling. And he's not going to respond to me, but whatever. Tim Dillon.
No, I'll tweet at him too.
Yeah, you have a blue check mark, like fucking do it.
Yeah, I could maybe worm my way into his DMs, possibly.
Yeah, the conclusions that he comes to are completely incoherent. And it's like that with a lot of people and they get so close. A lot of these people, they get, and the thing is that their alienation and their anger towards this mode is so justified. But then you have the rad libs who are like, no, everything is fine.
Let's talk about my Gamergate take.
Yeah, they're like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. The mode is good. You're the one that's bad.
Well, it's not just that. It's also one of the things that he said at the very end of his rant was that I don't know what the fuck's gonna come after this, but whatever it is gonna be worse. It's like what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like it's still this idea that capitalism is like the refined version of civilization and society, and that anything that we try to get out, end of history bullshit that we talk about all the fucking time on this fucking podcast. It's like it's that fucking brainworm that has everyone in this like, well, this is fucking it. So like, if we can't do this, then like, there's nothing. We might as well be fucking feudal kings again. And like,
We'll get him
And so
on.
they're gradually doing that with corporations. Like, it's because Amazon, let's just talk about like the South Park worker consumer fucking criticism of Amazon is fucking brilliant.
Brilliant.
It is criticizing
So
Amazon as
good.
asserting itself as a feudal power. It's
It is
fucking brilliant.
It is. Same thing, but this is why we need to get Tim Dillon on. We need to make him read Mark Fisher's Capitalist Realism. We need to, because that's what it is.
We need to brainwash Tim Dillon.
Yes, Tim Dillon, come. We'll do like the Clockwork Orange thing, and we'll just like fucking bombard him with fucking communist propaganda till he shits his pants. But yeah, I think the political incoherence that I'm noticing, that's part of the sort of normie zeitgeist, is basically capitalist realism made manifest. People are sort of in this mode now where they're sort of like, there is nothing else, there's nothing else, and their brains are malfunctioning.
There are no alternatives. The tagline of fucking capitalist realism.
The hopeful thing is their minds are reaching for alternatives. Their minds are grasping for something, but nobody is there presenting them. And you know who's the gatekeeper that's in the way of the broader left presenting these ideas to normies? The liberal left. Because every single time we try to, they fucking call us Nazis and try to fucking cancel us.
Yeah.
If you try to talk
You fucking Strasserites dare talk about material things going on?
If you try to talk to normies, they fucking hate you and they lose their shit. And I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to you.
Look what fucking happened to me with this Milo shit. Like, just to bring that up one more time, I became Satan for wanting to talk to a room of people who is actually not automatically sympathetic towards Milo. They're just willing to hear him.
I mean, so I think what this pandemic has at least done has made people kind of look at the end of this, because you have to. I mean, it's like, it's come out recently. There was the latest King's College London study that's just shown that even if you get antibodies and you get over coronavirus, that's only for 3 months, and then those antibodies are gone. And if you catch it again, it could, give you, I don't want to be depressing, could give you lung disease with all that.
It's really not. It's not fun what they found. Let's leave it at that.
It's really not fun. So like the ultimate fucking thing is here. Like, we have a fucking thing that's symptomless, it can't be fucking done, all of this stuff. None of us trust the government to do a fucking contact trace app, all of that fucking crazy good stuff. So we need to basically not have a functioning society in the way that we did. How do we do that? Oh, well, I can't pay my rent. I have to get out to work, is what I hear a lot of Americans saying. Oh, I have to get out to work. I have to do this. It's like, no, dude, you don't have to work. You need a number of fucking numbers in your fucking digital bank account to pay for your things. Like, you don't need to work. You just need means in which to survive. And like, that's not impossible. And they've just shown how made up and bullshit the fucking economy is by pumping fucking numbers into shit that you don't even see. So like, you have to now look at the end reality of this. We all know what it comes down to. We can't really resume fucking normal, go about chit-chatty fucking society without a vaccine. Mm-hmm. Until then, everyone is really safely, the safest fucking thing to do, no lives lost, everybody stay indoors, give you fucking money, everybody get your food, everybody do this. Fucking essential people safely work. We're going to look after you, even more hazard pay, all of that good stuff. Fucking everybody's looked after until we've figured this fucking out as not just a country, but as a fucking globe. And like, that is a scary thing because it undermines the fundamental ethos of capitalism of you made decisions and you must suffer for those decisions. You went to art school, so you're not making money. Shocker. You should have gone to fucking study how does broker stocks. No, that's not who I am. All of that fucking shit. It's the ethos of how we live our lives, of capitalism, and it completely undermines all of that.
The ironic thing is, because you're talking about like us needing a vaccine. The Alex Jones clip that I was referring to a few minutes ago was him praising Kanye West for revealing coronavirus vaccine as the mark of the beast, basically.
Oh, great.
And Bill Gates coming out and saying 700,000 people will probably get sick or maybe even die from his vaccine. Kanye West is seeing all of this, and he also knows, as much of the black community awakens to this, that Planned Parenthood was founded by the Rockefellers and Margaret Sanger, and that she was actually the tutor to Adolf Hitler, and that she was worshipped by the KKK. And so when Kanye comes out and says white supremacists behind Planned Parenthood doing devil's work and the media attacks him, it's totally and completely true. That's why so many prominent black leaders have actually come out and said Black Lives Matter doesn't represent me, saying they want to get rid of the nuclear family when that's so bad for children statistically.
So among the right-wing kind of political incoherence, we don't trust the establishment, we don't trust the government sort of ethos is the idea that, and I sympathize with them in that regard. They don't trust. They just come to the most, and they shouldn't trust, but they come to the dumbest conclusions.
The wildest thing about it is that Alex Jones in this clip is legitimately concerned about the power structure wiping out black people. Like, I don't think that he's full of shit the way he says it. He says white supremacy, and he goes, well, maybe not white supremacy, but they're specifically targeting black people. And it's like, whoa. That's about as close as this guy fucking gets to saying something like that. I think that was a genuine thing slipping out.
In the clip, basically, Kanye West has apparently been talking about Bill Gates and doing like vax truther stuff and speculating that
fuck Bill Gates and fuck his fucking vaccines. It's a means to control people.
Yeah.
It's not that it's fucking problem that there's vaccines. There's bad quality vaccines, and it's a means to fucking control people via economic exertion of power.
Yeah.
Like, you get the vaccine, you're a safe employee. You get the vaccine, you're allowed to go to these certain housing complexes. You get the vaccine, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that's how that sort of spun in a more like kind of like real kind of way. Because I know that there's obviously the clips of him saying like we need to use vaccines to reduce the world's population. But like,
which as soon as you hear that, you should be fucking suspect of Bill Gates. It doesn't matter what context he says it in. You should be like, holy fuck, he just said that.
Yeah, but that's how the violence of neoliberalism works. It's under the radar. It's not, hey, we're going to give a vaccination to people that's going to kill them. It's, hey, we're going to withhold certain access to certain things from people so that they just
look at the thing with the coronavirus. Like, the coronavirus is evidence that that's how it works.
Yeah.
Because they have used the mask shit, they've used all of this shit to designate certain demographics of the country as good or bad. The people who are resisting these masks are the bad ones.
Like this liberalism shit, this neoliberal mode it's becoming more and more authoritarian. It's teetering more towards fascism than it has in a very, very long time. And people think that neoliberalism is good.
Angie, hold on. Are you telling me that you're concerned about fascism and yet you're talking about neoliberalism?
Oh God. That's the thing about these people is they think that the real fascists are like the Richard Spencers of the world. These people that don't have any power and who are just sort of out on the
Bill
internet.
fucking Gates.
Yeah.
That's the fascist.
They don't that's who they think the real fascists are, the people the Sargon. They're YouTube villains. They think that the YouTube villains.
And they're morons. These people that they think are the biggest threats in the world, they're morons. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't even have their information straight between different conversations. They can't internalize any actual like logic that gives you an if this then that type situation. Like they can't do it. It's not there. And yet they're the big baddies.
I don't know why everyone thinks it's crazy to bet on humanity, mate. Like, that's what I'm, that's what I'm talking
I'm betting
about.
on humanity.
But at the same time, like, fucking get your kids, get your wife, get to your bunker. Because,
we've got a great deal on a new InfoWars brand bunker. We want to start selling it.
You can assemble it in 5 minutes. It's great.
It comes with a free 3-month supply of vitamins and nutrients.
And Rainforest Plus.
Rainforest Plus, which will successfully mitigate any soy after effects that you have from eating a normal diet. It is 30% soy, but it's good soy.
Oh my God, Peter.
Not the liberal soy.
It's not that, it's human soy.